gentlemen, read the upstanding, the Deputy Lieutenant, the Welsh Corps Mayor, and the Chief Executive.
Please be seated. Good evening and welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me? Yes? Good. That's a nice change anyway. Can I welcome everybody to this special council meeting this evening for Thursday the 18th of May 2017. We are here to do investiture of the Borough of Hartlepool. But we need to go through the normal mundane parts. So if you bear with us while we do that, and that is to receive any apologies, communication sent to myself or the Chief Executive.
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor. We've received notification of apologies from Councillor Martin Wells, Councillor Belcher, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Riddle and Councillor Hamilton.
Thank you. Are there any more? Sorry? Thank you. No? No? Thank you. To receive any declarations of interest by members? No? Okay. To deal with any business required by statute to be done before any other business, we have none. So item 4, to receive the Chief Executive's report and to pass such resolutions thereon as may be deemed necessary. Jill?
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor. As members are aware, at the meeting of Council held on the 23rd of February 2017, it was agreed that the titles of Honorary Freeman and Honorary Free Women and the Freedom of Hartlepool be bestowed on the following individuals and organisations as recommended by the Civic Honours Committee. Those individuals are Mohammed Menenbawi, the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company, Jill Kitching, and Albie or Albert Patterson. I would appreciate it, Mr Mayor, if you remove the necessary.
Thank you very much indeed, Joe. Right. This council, in appreciation and recognition of the eminent service rendered to the Borough of Hartlepool by Joe Kitching, Mohammed Menenbawi, Albie Patterson, or Albert, you prefer Albie, don't you? And the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company. In pursuance of Section 249, Section 5 of the Local Government Act 1972, do hereby admit the said Jill Kitchen, Mohammed Menenbawi, Albie Patterson, the First Royal Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company to be honorary freemen, free women of the Borough of Hartlepool. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Christopher Hicks-Gotcha. Thank you very much indeed, Councillor. We need to move to the vote. I don't think there's any need to have a recorded vote. Could I have a show of hands, please? All those in favour of the motion? That's unanimous. Thank you very much indeed, colleagues, for that. Now move to invite Councillor Carl Richardson to address the Council in proposing Jill Kitching. Councillor Richardson, please.
Mr Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, and honourable guests, it gives me great pleasure to
propose Jill Kitchen be made an honorary freeman of the Borough of Hartlepool. Jill was born and lived in Hartlepool all her life. In 1987, she founded Epilepsy Outlook after being diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 17, 2 years after her first seizure. Jill left school, got married, and had 3 children, 2 girls, Barbara and Jackie, and Leslie, a son. When her youngest child, Barbara, started school, Jill enrolled at the College of Further Education to get more qualifications, aiming to overcome the stigma of having epilepsy in her own life. Jill worked at Brentford for 2 years, but wanted to do more to help people with epilepsy. Seeking to learn more about it, Jill completed courses with Epilepsy Scotland and the British Epilepsy Association. In 1987, Jill wished to promote the needs of those living with epilepsy, experience isolation and poor employment prospects, set up Epilepsy Outlook. This was no easy task, requiring her to organise charity events, raising both money and awareness throughout the community. And with the help of HVDA and the government, she opened her first charity shop in Mary Street. From such humble beginnings 30 years ago, Hartlepool now has 3 such shops in the town, an advice centre raising money and awareness of the condition, helping hundreds of those living with epilepsy in the town, their families to cope with their changes, living safely, providing information. This organisation benefits the whole community with knowledge and understanding of epilepsy itself, reducing the stigma associated with it. Here are just a few notable facts about this condition. On average, 87 people in the UK are diagnosed with epilepsy every day. Around 75% of people with epilepsy in the UK have seizures well controlled with medication. Many people who develop epilepsy below the age of 20 will grow up with it later on in life. In the UK, people who are seizure-free for a year can reapply for their driving licence. And many people with epilepsy are still discriminated against employment due to ignorance about this condition. This last point is what Jill has been addressing all her adult life, helping others who have epilepsy and raising awareness in the wider community. She is inspired and has been an inspiration for other people with this condition. Through her organisation, Epilepsy Outlook, which helps hundreds of people every week, has helped many thousands of people over the years. In the light of this, I think it's quite fitting that in the 30th anniversary of Epilepsy Outlook, that we honour the lady who has brought this organisation about. In conclusion, I propose Jill Kitchen as an honorary freeman of the Borough of Hartlepool.
Thank you very much, Councillor Richardson. Can we now then please ask Councillor Kevin Ryan to address the council and secondly Jill Kitchen.
This is the address. Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Mr. Mayor, Lady Mayoress, 3 men, 3 women, all the men, all the women, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, councillors, thank you. It is a pleasure for me to actually second Jill. I've known Jill since we both had black hair, you know what I mean, but I think she died there. So, I've known her over 30 odd years. We both worked in the same sort of voluntary sector, and in that time, people have said that Jill's tenacious, still, you know, they said she's just a pain, you know what I mean? She's one of them people who just never give up. She was called the mini Rottweiler of the voluntary sector. Jill has worked tirelessly all of her life for to support people in need, particularly the development of Epilepsy Outlook. Sometimes trying to cope with her own problems and her own health issues. I've actually had to cut loads of this out because Carl stole it all. I met very few people who could have done half what Jill's done. She's achieved so much, and because of their unwavering determination and tenacity, as I said, some people do that, we have now a very successful charity in Hartlepool that is carrying on and expanding their original idea and which would be an asset to any town. As I said, Jill, at times to fight hard to champion the cause of epilepsy sufferers, who has always been determined to put their needs above others. This is despite their own health issues. She continues to champion the cause for those with epilepsy and put the interests of others above her own personal circumstances. She's devoted a great deal of her life to helping others and has made a real difference to the welfare of all who stand to her for help, regardless of the cost to herself. I'm honoured to second Jill with us on her honorary freedom of Hartlepool.
Thank you, Councillor Crowley. I'd like to invite Councillor Rearland and also just Councillor Woods and Mohammed Malibawi, or that Councillor Rearland will also not be here this evening, so I'll hand over to Councillor Christie.
Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Mr Mayor, Honorary Freeman, Honorary Alderman, civic guests, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen. In the absence of the nominator as leader of Hartlepool Borough Council, I have been asked to read out the nomination for Mohammed Malibawi on behalf of the Council of Greater Northern Wales, and it gives me great pleasure to do so. It was a Sunday afternoon back in October 1987, after 3 straight nights on call, that Mohammed Malibawi found himself looking through the British Medical Journal. Mohammed was excited having been told by Professor Child that the Board of Studies at St Bartholomew Hospital, one of the best teaching hospitals in the world, had decided that he was sufficiently trained and experienced to be a consultant, and he would be starting applying for a post with their full blessing. A few months later, Mohammed and his wife Carol had been invited to a New Year's Eve party at the Meridian Hotel in Cairo. Carol stayed for 1 week and Mohammed decided to stay another week. A few days later, in the middle of a noisy family party at his flat in central Cairo, Carol phoned, and although he could hardly hear her, he managed to gather that a consultant from a place called Hartlepool phoned to ask if he would be attending a job interview. He said, "Where is that place?" He could not remember applying for the job. Carol said it was close to her favourite place in the country, Durham. He was distracted but said yes. He could not continue the conversation because of the noise. Mr. Goodhue Dawson, the consultant, phoned Carol to invite Mohammed to the interview. He was an ex-wing commander at the RAF. He went to meet Mohammed in London and invited him to dinner and to spend the evening at the RAF club. He talked about the hospital and the town and how wonderful it was, and how Mohammed would have the opportunity to develop anything he wanted, and the opportunities to advance his career were limitless. The more he talked, the more Mohammed became interested about working in our great town, Hartlepool. Mr. Dawson was attempting to start an advanced fertility service, and he must have realised Mohammed's great potential in that respect, as he worked at the Department of Reproductive Medicine at Barts Hospital, headed by the world-famous Professor Child, and also at the newly established IVF clinic at the same hospital by Mr. Marcus Setchell, the Queen's gynecologist. Thankfully for hundreds, if not thousands, of local people, Mohammed decided to visit our town and meet hospital staff and possible future colleagues. 3 months later, Mohammed did not waste any time on his plans to start developing the IVF clinic in Hartlepool, which was christened by the nurses as the Assisted Conception Clinic. The aim was to bring technology to the hospital to enhance its reputation and status of Hartlepool. Another important aim for Mohammed was to offer the chance to people who could not afford to pay for private treatment in London the chance to achieve parenthood. Mohammed's motto was being poor does not make one a bad parent. He wanted Hartlepool people to have the same standard of care the rich London people have. Mohammed today, but back then was almost impossible. Mohammed overestimated the willingness of some senior staff to help, and he came across many who tried hard to hinder and stop the development, just like that. But he was extremely lucky to have some of the nurses who were willing to help. Mr. Dawson had great difficulty involving the nurses to help him, and he had to do all the work himself. I think being younger must have had some charm with the nurses. Mrs. Aileen Kinnard, a clinic nurse, took pity on him and decided to help. Without her, Mohammed said the clinic would have certainly failed. Simple requests for vital pieces of equipment had been turned down by hospital managers, so Mohammed, his wife Carol, and many of their friends went around the pubs and clubs of Hartlepool to raise the money themselves. He had to break new grounds to persuade the senior nurses to allow the nurses to do and perform tasks which were not traditional within their scope of practice. In typical Mohammed selflessness, he wanted to be mentioned every single person and made the clinic possible, but unfortunately time receiving does not allow that to happen. Ray says that on a personal note he remembers almost 27 years ago walking into Mohammed's house, a very nervous 22-year-old with a pregnant then wife, both worried because they had suffered a miscarriage some months earlier. Mohammed put them both at ease, and although the pregnancy was far from straightforward, Mohammed was there for them and had been with 3 of 4 of Ray's children. Mohammed, you have dedicated most of your working life to the people of our time. Your wife Carol and all your own children have sacrificed more than people would ever know, with you working around the clock on the people of Hartlepool first every time. So it is our turn to say a massive thank you to everyone you've helped, and I'm honoured to propose on behalf of Ray Martin Bell you to receive the highest honour the town can offer, the Freedom of Hartlepool.
Thank you. And I now invite Councillor Brenda Williams to address the council and seconding Mohammed Mendenhall, please.
Good evening, Deputy Local Times, Freeman, Osman, Mr Mayor, Councillors, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and not staff. I think this was thought out on behalf of Ray, and because Ray was went into such detail, I don't need to say anything other than it's an honour and privilege to set such a shining example of selfless and commitment to our said. I have lived in Hartlepool for 29 years. I will die in this town. Hartlepool is my home. It therefore gives me enormous pleasure to form the second forum as Freedom of the Borough of Hartlepool.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. Can I now invite Councillor Kevin Grant to address the council in conclusion? I'll be back.
One of it, you know, I try to keep the jokes clean and I won't go there. I've known Ali, or Albert Ali, for since I was a young lad. He was a lot older than me, you know, and you can tell that. We actually lived in each other in the Outman Award. You know, actually Ali lived behind me. We lived in the posher sort of side of Outman in Kinross, the side. Before I start, I've got to say, Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Mr. Mayor, Lady Mayoress, Freeman, Free Women, Aldermen, Alderwomen, honoured guests, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and Uncle Tom Cobley and all, because obviously this is an honour for me and a pleasure to propose our being for Honorary Freeman of Hartlepool, not only for the contribution he's made to the local economy, but the charitable and educational work he undertakes for the town. As I said, I've known Aldi for, well, not that many years really. I mean, he's a 60s child, Albi was actually looking for support and help to develop a business idea that he had. And it was a local charity that I managed at the time that he came to looking for that help. And as I say, the rest is history. Art Biologicals, now a specialist medical company, was formed in 2002 with 3 people. Now it has a workforce of over 40, probably more than that, I mean, it grows daily. Never want to sit back though. Albi formed a sister company, Art Innovations, in 2012 due to the increased high demand for contract research. Albi's not only created a community, but it created a company that has the community at its heart and recognised the merits of his business to the educational sector. Albi regularly allows visits from university students as far as Manchester and London. And on top of this, he encourages his staff to become STEM ambassadors, and STEM stands for science, technology, engineering and maths, touring schools on a regular basis to reinforce science as a valuable career choice. Albi is alongside Governor of Manor College of Technology and was recently a guest award at Tunstall, who became the best 11 to 16 school to receive an award for its commitment to science. With Albi's guidance, the organisation is a key supporter of apprenticeship schemes in Hartlepool. We're also taking new students in and around Hartlepool and giving them valuable on-the-job experience. Albi has many personal achievements. I think the most admirable and shocking is his continuous participation in the Great North Run. I couldn't look at Albi, but I'd have to get a car, so there's no way I'd run along there. Over the years, he's raised thousands of pounds for local charities, including Hartlepool and District Hospice, Getting Kids Ready, and the Stroke Association. He's also, for his sins, treasurer of Rugby Rovers, Anglo Rovers Rugby Club, and is a big supporter of kids rugby across the town. Albi's given business up there, really, Albi. The company is a regular sponsor of popular music and cancer events and books, out and tables, events that we staff attend. I'm saying this, Albi does what I'm passionate about. He actually gives back to the local community. And ever since I've known Albi, it's about growing the local economy. Albi could easily move his business outside of the town, but he didn't. He wanted to stay and grow in the town, and he wanted to grow it with local people. Albi's companies have won numerous awards since starting up, and Albi in 2006 was named Big Business Leader of the Year at the Hartlepool Business Awards. I consider Albi a great business leader and community benefactor. I'm proud of his entrepreneurial skills, valuing education, the community, tackling local employment, supporting local charities, and most importantly, personally encouraging his staff to grow with us. Once again, it is an honour and a pleasure to propose Albi for honorary agreement of Hartlepool.
Thank you, Councillor Trumbull. Albi looks as if we've talked also about it totally different. Can I ask Councillor Stephen please to address the council in the seconding Albi council?
Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Mr. Mayor, Honorary Freeman, Honorary Alderman, civic guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course councillors. It gives me great pleasure to second the nomination for Albi Patterson
you look at the example of Mr. Patterson's work on paper, it is unbelievable and, to be quite frank about it, outstanding. The commitment which has been shown to the business community, and also I believe Mr. Patterson is a great example of a philanthropist who work speaks for himself in Hartlepool and the volume of work, and we've heard Councillor Cranning outline the charitable work which has actually been carried out. I can't think of a worthier candidate from the business community. We see a great example. But as I said earlier about looking on paper what people do, I just want to reflect that this is a real person, a real family man who has got the town that is thinking here. And this accolade this evening is the highest you can receive in Hartlepool, and I think that in itself speaks volumes. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to second the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stephen Roger. And I now invite Councillor Alan Clark to address the Council in proposing the first article of Body Brigade Code.
Mr. Mayor, Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Mr. Mayor, Mayoress, Honorary Freeman, Honorary Alderman, civic guests, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me enormous pride tonight to propose the first Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company for the honour of the freedom of the Borough of Hartlepool. As the current lead member for Children's Services, it's quite right and appropriate that I point out that the Boys Brigade have been championing the cause of children and young people of Hartlepool for over 130 years. There are many members of the brigade who I consider being personal friends, and they are also here tonight. They bring about social action, empowerment of young people, and the nurturing of young people through participation in developmental activities. The Boys Brigade is embedded in our town's history, with many of its members having went on to become civic champions and community leaders. Founded in Scotland in 1883 by Sir William A. Smith and incepted into Hartlepool in 1886 under the stewardship of its first captain, Dr. Bertie Morrison, the Boys Brigade has played a huge part in the lives of thousands of young people in Hartlepool over the last century. It's a little unknown fact that the first mayor of the new borough of Hartlepool, following the amalgamation of the Hartlepools in 1967, was Councillor Fred Chase. And when we leave the chamber this evening and we go into the long gallery, you will see photos of all the former mayors of Hartlepool. And up there on the top left is the very first one when the Hartlepools were amalgamated in 1967, and that's Councillor Fred Chase. The Boys Brigade have been pretty much an ever-present on the local rugby scene too. We found the local teams, the Boys Brigade Old Boys, Hartlepool Old Boys, and Hartlepool Athletic. All of the current officers of volunteers have given up their time free of charge to ensure that the company continues its traditions, of which I am proud to say they still live on and will continue to live on in Hartlepool under its present captain, who's here tonight, Mr. Paul Craggs. And in light of what I've said with you, what I've shared with you all, Mr. Mayor, it gives me great pleasure to propose that the first Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company are honoured with the freedom of our town. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clark, and I now invite Councillor Paul Beck to address the Council and seconding the first Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Deputy Lord Lieutenant, Honorary Freeman, Honorary Alderman of this great town, civic guests, ladies and gentlemen, elected members, Mr. Mayor and Lady Mayor, I've been asked this evening to second one of the prominent brigades, not only here in Hartlepool, but in the whole of this country. 131 years they've been formed, and they go from strength to strength. The Boys Brigade provides a well-balanced programme of activities for children 5 to 18 years old. You know, when you look at what's happening in our town today, a lot of our young people get a really bad press. These boys are a shining example of what thoughtful young people should be, and they are a shining example in this town. Resources have been delivered to help volunteer youth leaders work in a relevant and creative way, making a positive contribution to young person's life and to be able to share their faith. As Ellen has already pointed out, we've had councillors, we've had mayors who've grown up through this Boys Brigade to represent this town, and it's a real honour. It's a real honour for them. This work makes for a better community and involves our young children in all aspects of life. This is what we support in our great town, and this award is well deserved. I have a great honour in seconding the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade for this great honour of Freeman of Hartlepool. Well done.
Right, thank you for that. Now, can we please invite Jill Kitchen to accept the title of Honorary Free Woman and decide freedom of vote. Good office, Madam Mayor. Jill, would you just like to say a few words?
I wasn't expecting any of this, so Deputy Lieutenant, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayoress, civic dignitaries, everybody, thank you very much. This is a great honour, and all I can say is I couldn't have done half of what I've done without a lot of support. There were an awful lot of very good people in behind me who gave their time, and they've done a lot. And we've got a couple here tonight, our parent manager, our chairman, and the lady who served with me near the very beginning. And I'd like to thank everybody. This has been a great, great honour. Thank you very much.
We'll get a second chance to
Yes, can you hear me? Thank you. I'm not going to address people by the official titles, because I don't do official. I'm going to call you my family and my friend. Or I don't know how to thank you. I must say, I thank my wife, my children, for allowing me the time to do what I wanted to do. They never felt made me feel guilty about not being at home, about missing outings, birthday, everything I missed to do what I wanted to do. It's absolutely fantastic. But, you know, I feel like a football captain. You can never achieve things like that without a team. But my team is hundreds and hundreds of people. My team is 1,000 people that went and raised the funds to buy the equipment. This unit belongs to us. The machines, the equipment belong to the people who actually paid for it. I can never forget the man that had his hair shaved and got married 17 years ago with long hair and big beard, and his wife had never seen him without one. But he raised 1,700 pounds for shaving them. There's so many people. Bev Andrews is here that she led our supporter group that defended the units like a lioness against the attacks of the insidious, as they call them. And we kept managed to keep it for a long time. Peter Mandelson helped us because there have been several attacks before the closed, and he managed to help us to keep it open for so long. Thanks to her, I must say. It's absolutely fantastic. There's so many people. Margaret Wells, she was here today, the head of the Midwifery. She was the boss. She allowed me to do what I wanted to do. And without her, she was taken as an outside of my back. She protected me. Thank you, Margaret. Christopher, thank you. Thank you again. I'd like to thank Dave Martin Wells, who's not here. I was going to join already. Thank you again for this fantastic one, which is not belong to me alone, but to my family and my team. Thank you.
Now, please call us on to Alvin Patterson to accept the title of honorary freeman.
Like Mr. Minabawi, I can't remember all of the official titles for everyone, so if you'll forgive me, I shan't go that way. I was told by Alistair to keep this brief, so I shall keep it brief. I can talk quite a bit about that loose, but tonight I'll just keep it very brief. I'm absolutely honoured to receive this from the Borough of Hartlepool. Hartlepool is me, basically. I'm very proud of this town, and wherever I go around the world, I make sure people are aware of the town, where we are, and that they should come and visit us. People who come to the company, I send them through the town centre, because they tend to go up the A19. They need to go down the A689 and through the other side. Really, in terms of Hart Biologicals, I would like to, and Hart Innovations, I think all of our staff should be here, because yes, I'm standing here, but day to day, they're the guys who do the work. So we're at the cutting edge of some very interesting science in blood sciences. And I recognise it's very unusual for Hartlepool. So, as Karen said, I'm very keen to be involved in the education sector because the sciences are not picked upon as a real career opportunity in this town. And if I, in a very small way, can make a change there, I'm happy to do that. We'll continue to do that. Really, I have some thanks, really to finish off with. And again, going back to what Kevin said in his very eloquent presentation, I took my scratchy business plan and idea into the only place I knew, which was Outen Fens then? Outen Fens Community Association. I said, I think I want to start a business. And Margaret looked at all the scientific terms and said, I can't help you. But she put me in touch with a lady who is now a council employee, Hartlepool council employee. At the time she was with BusinessLink. And Andrea Miles, she hates it when I keep mentioning her, but without Andrea Miles, Hart Biologicals probably wouldn't exist. Through BusinessLink, she introduced me to all of the key people I needed to speak to. I'm a scientist in business. I didn't understand how to start a business, how to run a business. I've learned it as I've gone along. But without Andrea, it may never have happened. And so I'm always very thankful to having met that lady. And she's a great asset to Hartlepool Borough Council, I have to say. I'd also like to thank my family who are sitting in the near back rows there. It was quite an interesting time when I told my wife that I wasn't going back to work. And when she picked herself up, she thought we were going to be in a tent on Russell Park. But my brothers, who were there as well, they've been with us from the start. The three of us were myself, my brother Bob, and Marl's wife Pauline, and it was a real family business, and we got going. And we've gone on from strength to strength, and it's with the help and support of those people that we managed to do that. And really, the sort of final people that I would like to thank is publicity seekers for the nomination, because their job really is to get stories out there and into the press, and they managed to keep this remarkably quiet for such a long time. And I'm absolutely honoured to receive this, and thank you all, and I look forward to meeting you all again. Thanks.
This is a psalm that's actually given because it's not just one person and you have a job to wear around his neck. Very true. It does actually say the first Hartlepool Boys Brigade Company, and they are still the first Boys Brigade Company. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. And all that says you really, really deserve it.
and dignified guests and all people present. It's with absolute pride and honour that I accept this honour on behalf of the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade. I'm going to repeat some of the things that have been said. The Boys Brigade nationally and internationally was founded in Glasgow by Sir William Alexander Smith in 1883 and went on to become one of the largest uniformed youth organisations in the world. The First Hartlepool was founded in October 1886 by Captain Osborne as part of a Bible class, and 1 year later, on October the 21st, 1887, the company, under the leadership of Dr. Albert Bertie Morrison, who was chosen by Captain Osborne to become captain as he was returned to the army, was registered to Boys Brigade headquarters as a Boys Brigade company, with an allegiance to St. Hilda's Church, and each serving clergy of the church has become our official chaplain ever since. In 1910, just 4 years before his death, William Alexander Smith carried out an inspection of the First Hartlepool with over 100 boys inspected in the Borough Hall. The company has a fine tradition of camping, and the first camp to be held was in 1890 in Shotton Village, and in 1891 Bertie Morrison attended Castle Howard to see the work of Lady Howard with boys from London. A relationship developed between Castle Howard and First Hartlepool, and the company still to this date attends camp each summer at Castle Howard. The company has attended 121 camps at Castle Howard, with the missing years due to the estate being used as an evacuation post during the World Wars. The company has served as a catalyst for thousands of young men in the town and played a part in the life and growth of these people. Members of the company have served in high-profile roles within the town. For example, Fred James, who was captain, served as the first unified mayor of the Borough of Hartlepool after the amalgamation in 1967. The First Hartlepool is responsible for the founding of other organisations within the town, these being the First Hartlepool Girls Brigade and 3 of the town's rugby clubs: Hartlepool Boys Brigade All Boys, my club, Hartlepool All Boys and Hartlepool Athletic, have all been formed through links with the Brigade or the All Boys Institute of the Brigade, with members of the First Hartlepool representing their country or Great Britain and Ireland touring with the British Lions. Currently, the company now meets in the Borough Hall, and we, as an organisation, are very grateful for the assistance from the council in allowing us to operate from the building at a reduced cost, which helps us carry out more work with the young people and keep the activities as low in price as we can. We currently have 27 boys attending each week, aged from 5 to 16, and the boys work through a programme of awards and activities to gain their badges, and the highest award a boy can gain is the Queen's Badge at the age of 17 or 18. Councillor Cook kindly presented our latest Queen's men, Jackson Simmons and Anthony Miller, who have attended Boys Brigade since the age of 5 with their Queen's Badge at Castle Howard last summer. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the other recipients of the Freedom Award, and I believe they are also very worthwhile awards to be granted. I would like to thank all the parties involved in the process of awarding this honour upon the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade. John Cambridge for his nomination, Civic Honour Committee members and council members for their support in granting of the award. But most of all, I would like to thank the previous captains, officers and members of the First Hartlepool Boys Brigade who have been steadfast and sure in their loyalty and service to this most wonderful of organisations, and long may it continue. Thank you.
That actually is the official part of the Saviour's event. And I think you'll agree that each and every recipient is well aware of their award. I think you deserve it all. councillor guests, members, officers, guests, and mayors. Before we get into trouble. To please partake of light refreshments, which will be in committee room 3. There's plenty of food, plenty of drink, George Bush, get over there, just get on as much as you like. And if you want to take a doggy back home, you're welcome. So can I really thank you all for being here tonight. Without your attendance, it wouldn't have been special for each people to actually achieve this fantastic and actually, I would say, the most prestigious award that anyone can ever get from their town. And this is our town, great town of Hartlepool. Thank you very much.
Will you standing while the Deputy Lieutenants, Principal Mayor, Chief Executive, and Madam Mayor